Good day everyone! Today I will be discussing the future of food, unveiling aquaculture. So in this chapter, I will discuss ano yung natutunan ko sa chapter 1. So sa panahon ngayon, ang population ay patuloy na lumalaki sa demand sa pagkain, especially sa protein-rich foods, ay increasing rapidly. However, yung mga national fish stocks are under pressure due to overfishing and other environmental changes. So, yung mga bagay na to is nagre-lead siya sa mga development and expansion ng aquaculture, which is now one of the fastest growing food sa production. And then sa production sectors dito sa buong mundo. So, in this presentation, ano nga ba yung mga na-realize ko base sa mga nabasa ko, ano nga ba yung gusto kong i-explore at i-explain tungkol sa module na ito. So, in this presentation, I will explore we will explore what aquaculture is, ano nga bang history ng aquaculture, ano nga ba pinagkaiba ng capture fisheries and its environmental and economic importance and challenges na kinakaharap nito, and ano nga ba yung role niya sa feeding future generations. Are you wondering what is aquaculture? Narinig na ba natin ito? Malamang, syempre, simple lang, aquaculture is isa sa mga controlled farming of aquatic organism such as fish, shellfish, and other crustaceans and other aquatic plants. So, it can take place in fresh water, brackish water, and then or marine environments. So, unlike fishing, where people harvest wild fish from natural bodies ng water, ng aquaculture, so nag-i-involve dito yung pagpapalaki ng aquatic species sa undermanaged conditions, or may farmers controlled breeding growth, and harvesting para ma-maximize nila yung production. And then, masiguro nila na yung consistent ng kanilang supply. So, sa aquaculture, includes dito yung many species such as salmon, tilapia, shrimp, oyster, mussels, and seaweeds. So, yung mga product na to ay, ito yung madalas na nako-consume worldwide and contribute significantly to food security. So, today aquaculture supplies more than a half of all seafood, so nako-consume globally. So, dine-demonstrate ito kung gaano nga ba ka-importante ang fish farming because in meeting the growing demand for aquatic food products. So, habang nire-reduce nito yung dependence ito sa wild fish populations. Next is journey through time, the origins of aquaculture. So, are we wondering paano nga ba nagsimula ang aquaculture? So, aquaculture is not a modern invention. In fact, it has existed for thousands of years. So, the area's record, o yung record niya ay nagmula po sa China around 4000 BCE or before Christ era. Where yung carp is nire-raise nila sa ponds, and then yung mga Chinese scholar, gaya ng Panli, kalaunan nisulat nila yon, one of the first known texts on the fish farming techniques. So, sa around 2000 BCE naman, so yung mga ancient Egyptian farm tilapia sa ponds na naka-connected ito sa Nile River. So, yung evidence nun is parang ito yung practice na makikita natin sa mga ancient hieroglyphics. So, sa the Romans naman, also pinapractice naman nila is yung aquaculture sa mga wealthy Roman families. Binibuild nila yung saltwater fish ponds na tinatawag na piscinae, o para dun sila magpalaki ng isda para sa consumption and luxury dining. So, during the Middle Ages naman, yung mga European monasteries, nagdevelop sila ng carp ponds para ma-provide nila yung mga reliable source of food, especially during religious or fasting periods. So, yung mga historical examples nito ay nagpapakita na yung mga tao na recognize yung value ng cultivating aquatic organism sa pagkain. Next is global impact major milestone in aquaculture development. So, sa panahon ngayon, marami na rin tao nag-aquaculture. So, yun nga, yung modern aquaculture industry, so, nag-experience sila ng rapid growth during the 20th century. So, in the 1950s, following World War II, many countries na nag-face ng shortage, governments, yung sa particularly in Asia. So, nag-invest sila sa aquaculture programs para ma-improve yung food production and nutrition. So, during the 1970s, salmon farming became highly industrialized in Norway, habang yung shrimp farming is nag-expand siya across Southeast Asia. So, yung mga developments na to is na-transform siya aquaculture into a large-scale commercial industry. So, by the 90s naman, yung the Food of Agriculture Organization or FAO, na-recognize naman niyang aquaculture as the fastest growing food production sector globally. So, yung major milestone na occurred in taong 2014 kung saan yung aquaculture production is nasurpass niya yung wild capture fisheries. So, ito yung nagsilbi siya na as the primary source of seafood for human consumption. So, ito yung nagsilbing mark niya as a historic shift kung paano niya na world obtains yung seafoods. Next slide is understanding capture fisheries. So, para maunawaan natin kung ano nga ba ang pagkakaiba ng capture fisheries sa aquaculture. So, capture fisheries, nag-i-involve ito ng mga harvesting wild fish and other aquatic organisms from oceans, rivers, lakes, and other natural ecosystems. So, yung common na dito is yung fishing methods include trolling, long lining, force seining, and gill netting. So, ito yung mga method targets, yung iba-ibang method targets ng different species and habitats. So, sa wild fisheries, still na puproduce pa din sila around 90 million tons ng seafoods annually and provide livelihoods for millions of people worldwide. So, however, maraming fish stocks ang under pressure kasi nga more than 35% of global fish stocks are considered overexploited. So, this means fish are being harvested faster than population. So, ano nga ba effect nito? So, it can naturally replenish themselves. So, dahil dito maraming challenges na yung dumating, like yung mga sustainable alternatives. Yung sustainable alternatives nila is yung aquaculture. So, kaya nga mabilis nag-increase yung aquaculture rather than capture fisheries. So, ano nga ba? So, palawagin pa natin yung pagkakaiba ng aquaculture versus capture fisheries. So, although both provide seafood, aquaculture, and capture fisheries, so meron din silang pinagkaiba. Ano nga ba ito? So, the first difference is yung control. So, sa aquaculture farmers, nagmamanage sila ng breeding, feeding, and harvesting. So, sa in-capture fisheries naman, yung fish populations depend entirely sa natural ecosystems. So, the second difference is growth potential ng sa aquaculture production. So, nagko-continuous to increase every year because yung farmers is kaya nilang i-expand yung operation nila and then nag-i-improve yung technology. So, in contrast naman nun sa wild fisheries is meron silang largely reach their ecological limits. So, may limits lang sila ecological. Unlike sa aquaculture na kaya nilang i-expand yung operations nila. So, another difference is the traceability. So, yung farm seafood can often be traced from hatchery to market. So, inaalaw nito yung consumers na malaman kung saan nga ba nanggaling yung pagkain and then paano ito napuproduce. So, sa demand naman, syempre yung seafoods, nag-grow siya sa aquaculture. So, nag-offer to ng more predictable and scalable way para ma-meet nila yung global needs. And then, next slide is environmental footprint sustainable practices. So, sa modern aquaculture, so is increasingly nagpo-focus lang siya sa sustainability. So, one important thing dito is yung innovation and is integrated multi-trophic aquaculture or IMTA. So, sa system na to, yung fish, shellfish, and seaweed are farmed together, and then yung waste from one species is siya yung pinagkukunan nilang parang nagiging source nila for another, creating more balanced ecosystems. So, another innovation naman is the recirculating aquaculture system or RAS. So, ito yung indoor system na nagko-continuously na nagpipilter ng reuse water, reducing water consumption, and minimizing environmental discharge. So, sa feed sustainability naman is also improving, like traditionally yung fish meal. So, na-produce ito from wild caught fish. So, gaya ngayon, today, may alternative feeds tayo na ginagamit para made from insects, algae, and microorganisms. So, tinutulungan ito na ma-reduce yung dependence sa mga marine resources. So, these practices demonstrate how aquaculture can produce food while minimizing environmental impact. So, next slide is economic impact, aquaculture's role in global food security. So, sa aquaculture naman, syempre, meron siyang major role in the global economy and food security. So, in 2020, global aquaculture production nag-reach siya ng approximately 87 million tons. So, yung output na to is nag-provide siya ng affordable protein to millions of people worldwide. And then, more than 50% ng seafood na consume siya today comes from aquaculture farms. Yung highlight nito yung growing importance in supplying ng nutritious food. And then, so sa industry na to is parang nagda-direct siya ng employees around 20 million people. Many sa kanila is live sa mga developing countries where yung aquaculture is supports from rural livelihoods and local economies. In addition, the global aquaculture industry is valued at approximately 250 billion US dollars annually. So, ito yung making it a significant contributor ng economic development. So, next slide is challenges and innovations. So, despite its success ng aquaculture, siyempre, meron din silang kinakaharap na several challenges. So, yung one major challenges nila dito is yung disease management. So, disease management and then high density farming condition na kasi kaya nitong i-increase yung spread of disease. So, making yung biosecurity niya ay mame-measure siya, and then yung vaccination programs is mahalaga din dito. So, another challenges is speed, sustainability. So, nire-reduce nito yung dependence sa fish meal remains a priority for the industry. So, kailangan yung regulatory issues also exist because yung environmental standards vary between countries, leading to parang inconsistent practices na siya. And then, fortunately, yung mga new technologies is, syempre, natutulungan ito na i-address yung mga ganitong problema, lalo na yung mga artificial intelligence, yung mga sensor systems na kaya nilang i-monitor yung water quality, fish health, and feeding behavior sa totoong buhay. So, sa panahon ngayon, kasi marami ng advanced technology na pwede natin gawitin in aquaculture para mapadali yung trabaho natin and then pagmamanage ng system. So, sa offshore farms naman ay parang nadidevelop pa lang siya into deeper waters para ma-reduce yung coastal impacts and then ma-improve yung water circulation. Sa gene editing naman is yung technologies and selective breeding programs. So, tinutulungan din ito nag-produce na fast-growing and more disease-resistant yung mga species. And the last slide is the road ahead, the future of aquaculture. So, syempre, as we look toward the future of aquaculture, syempre, kailangan will become even more important. Like, syempre, i-binuview natin from the future, halimbawa, by 2050, yung global population natin i-expected natin na mag-exceed siya sa 9 billion people requiring significantly more food production. So, sa aquaculture is position to help meet this demand sustainability. So, sa mga future developments will still include yung offshore and then deep sea farming. So, allowing yung production na ma-expand beyond crowded coastal areas. So, precision farming naman technologies is syempre normally powered to ng artificial intelligence, will improve efficiency, reduce waste, and enhance animal welfare. So, at the same time, stronger policies and international cooperation, kailangan din natin na ma-ensure yung aquaculture remains environmentally responsible and socially beneficial. So, yun nga, hindi siya nakakasira sa environment and then sa social mo, sa paligid mo, hindi siya nakaka-distract. So, in conclusion, aquaculture is hindi lang siya more than just fish farming. So, it is mahalaga para sa solution para sa global food security and then economic development and environmental sustainability. So, yung decision na gagawin natin today para ma-determine natin paano nga ba tayo, halimbawa pag nagtayo ng aquaculture natin, paano ba ito magiging success, and then makaproprovide ba nito yung healthy seafood for future generation, ganon. Syempre, as a fishery students, malay mo someday magkaroon tayo ng aquaculture farm, ganun. So, kailangan matutunan natin kung paano nga ba yung proper management para maging successful yung aquaculture natin. And that's all. Thank you.